Today's story, the time I got kicked out of the church choir. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a bad boy.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
I've seen some stuff. I've been through some things. I know. I know I don't seem, but I got a past. Okay, I don't seem like I'm on the edge, but I am. No, I was good. I'm a good kid. I was a good kid, but this is the story of how I got kicked out of my church choir. We had this choir at church. Wasn't a big deal. Wasn't much of a thing. We would do some stuff here and there. But this new lady came to church, and she was actually an old lady. I don't know why I called her a new lady, but she was new to our church. We had a new old lady. That sounds so disrespectful. I won't even give her. I'm not even going to say her name because I don't want to be. I think she's passed on now, but her name was Norma. That's the same name. I'll give her a different last name.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Boulet. I'll give her a French. Norma Boulet. And she took choir seriously. And she was good. She was good. She took us and did some things. We entered choir tournaments or whatever they're called. We went to the choir meets. We were a top team in the choir league.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's a thing.
But here's the thing about the choir that you have to know that's important. And it was important to Norma. My sister was she was prime time. She was a prime time player, if you know what I'm saying. She's a PT peer.
A genuine PT peer, a primetime player, baby.
But yeah, she was like the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan, the Wayne Gretzky, I don't know. She was the top dog. I don't want to. And she's probably going to I'm not going to be all modest. Well, I wasn't that. I wasn't the, I don't know. I'm looking around. Like she's sitting around with a group of people watching my YouTube videos. Hey, everybody gather around. Let's watch Leland's YouTube videos. She's never even going to see this probably.
You think too little of yourself.
But she would downplay it. But I'm saying she was our soloist, and she was the star. She was the reason that we did well in the meets or whatever they're called. She's we would do well. We actually... I can't remember if we won some things or we placed in things. We were a top team in the league. to speak the only way I know how is sports analogies.
And boom goes the dynamite.
My sister and I to go in the choir. I was in the choir. I was like Keith Gretzky.
Come on, Gretzky. 5 up, 6 up, 7 up.
So we were country kids. The church was in the city, so we had to take a bus if we were going to go to these after school practices. We had the school bus, the old country farm school bus, but there was a place where they did transfers. It was like a transfer point right near on the edge of the city.
That's the bus stop.
Come to think of it, that might be a better name.
And so we would take the bus to there, and we got permission to get off there and then walk into town, which was a bit of a hike. But church luckily was on the edge of the city, so it wasn't too crazy, but it was a bit of a hike, and so we would go there and go to practice. Now, I mentioned Norma took it pretty seriously. She was pretty let's get this. I remember one time. This is about the only other memory I have of church choir other than getting kicked out of it. She added how these organs have like a bossa nova beat or something. Or something stupid like that. She added that to one of the songs, and we were all ooh, we were all excited, oh, this is gonna be kicking.
Not cool. But you are a kid.
And then the next practice, she was like, I prayed about it, and I just don't feel right about it. What?
No, I'm not gonna turn the beat around. I refuse to.
I took it upon myself I felt my job was to kind of keep things light. If my sister was the soloist that was bringing it home, I was the guy that was gonna make sure everyone's not too nervous by cracking some jokes. I was being a clown, is what I was doing. And I don't remember, other than this particular practice where I got kicked out, I don't remember annoying her. Now, it's quite possible. I've been around me. I'm pretty annoying.
That's an understatement.
Like, even you guys who are watching now, if you've lasted this long, which you probably haven't, because we're 5 minutes in, on average, about 3 minutes and 50 seconds, about 4 minutes is where people shut her down. You don't even hear the end of the story. I don't understand that. Maybe you skip ahead. At least do that. Then you'll know what happened. I'm annoying. If it's happening on YouTube, I know it's happening everywhere. I can be a little bit annoying. I get that. So this one particular practice, I did a joke. I was like, hey, or whatever, and I got some laughs. Hopefully it was a better joke than that. That was my go-to joke in those days. And Norma was like, hey, Leland, stop that. Let's get serious here. We got a big meet on Saturday or something. I don't know.
Still don't get it, do you?
And I was like, okay, sorry. And then I got going again, right? And I got somebody else laughing. And then she was like, hey, I said, stop it. And I was like, okay, sorry. And then I did it again. And then it was three strikes, you're out kind of thing. And she was like, okay, that's it. You're out. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm kicked out for the rest of practice. And she was like, no, you're gone. Like you're off the team. You're gonzos. Get out. I can't remember the age. I told my wife it was in junior high, and then she laughed at me when she found out that I cried. So I was maybe still in elementary school, grade 6 or 7 or something like that. But I didn't cry because I was like, oh no, don't take choir from me. No. I was crying because I knew, I'm going to be in so much trouble when I get home.
This is going to hurt just a little bit.
I'm freaking out, and I'm crying. She sees, well, he's really taking this hard. And she said, if you talk to the pastor, you go talk to the pastor and ask him and tell him what happened, and then we'll discuss, and possibly then I'll reinstate you, but not until then you're gone. So I was like, okay, the end of choir comes, end of choir practice comes, we get picked up. I tell my mom that I got kicked out of choir. So here's the thing about my parents. You can't do stuff like that. You can mess up. And they're like, oh, you messed up doing this. But you can't get kicked out of a church choir. That's not cool. That's not. So I got a good old whooping.
Somebody's going to get hurt one of these days.
I got a bare bottom leather strap on my bare bottom whooping for that. I believe I cried again. We get to church that Sunday. So here's the thing. My dad had said. If you get kicked out of choir, I don't want your sister Luann walking from the bus transfer.
It's the bus stop.
Did you forget?
Out of town all the way into the city by herself to go to practices. So if you can't do it, neither can she. She's off the choir. Norma Beaumay, sorry.
Just did it again.
Norma Boulay, when she found out about it, she was like, she freaked out. And that Sunday at church, she came to me, and well, maybe it was my mom, and I was just beside her. And she was like, no, I just meant he's kicked out for a week, which is not at all what she said. Like, I was like, am I out of this practice then? And she was like, no, you're gone. You're off completely. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're not in the choir anymore. She didn't say anything about a week. She was kicking me out for good. And then she found out she lost her star soloist. And she was like, yeah, I need him back. So she said, no, I was just talking about now. My dad was basically like, well, hang on. You said to go talk to the pastor and to be let back in the choir. He's not here this week. So if it's only a week, how's that possible? It's not possible. You kicked him out. So he's gone until he talks to the pastor. And so they were like, okay, well, Leland, when you talk to the pastor, then we'll get you back in. And this is what Norma Beaumay was saying. Okay, well, when are you going to talk to the pastor? But I was just like, no, you made me get a whooping for your overreaction in practice. And I already got that whooping. We can't take that back, can we? No, thank you. I'm a jerk.
It's about time somebody finally came out and said it.
What I should have done, though, because now my sister wasn't in the choir. Norma, actually, she quit the choir like soon after. It's a terrible story now. I thought it was a funny story. Now I'm thinking about it. It's how horrible a person I was in the 6th grade.
Or maybe I'm just the first to say out loud what we've all been thinking.
First of all, I'm sorry, Luann, because I was selfish and I didn't think of you. That's my sister. Sorry, Luann. And then I'm sorry, Norma, because that wasn't fair. And we would have been the best choir team. I don't know. I wish this had a better ending. Now I feel really bad. I'm such a jerk. Why did it take me so long to figure that out? That's the real question here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Subscribe below. Also, there's a little notification bell. If you click that, they'll tell you when my next video's up. I've done some research, so I found that out. Or you can also go to the subscription button and unsubscribe if you're disgusted at what a jerk I was in the 6th grade. And I'll be honest with you, I don't blame you. And it's not like this channel's getting any momentum right now anyway. So don't worry about it. Do the right thing.